G'day. I'm pretty excited because I just got delivery of my new GoSun Fusion hybrid oven, which is there in the background. And I just thought I'd take the opportunity to just talk about the two ovens that I've got now, the GoSun Sport, and perhaps explain some of the reasons why I'm very excited about this new oven. But this GoSun Sport is in a league of its own, really, even when compared to the up-model market big brother here. So firstly, of course, to explain, these are solar ovens. So if you look at it from the side there, you can see that they're designed with some kind of reflector background, concentrating heat on a central area there, which in this design is a tube, and in fact it's a vacuum tube. So very efficient. Both of these ovens work the same way. This one's a bit bigger, but it's got a much bigger cooking area inside. And so what that means is that the trays for the GoSun Sport is long and thin, like that. Okay, so that would be suitable for cooking long, thin things, sausages, and of course whatever else that you can fit onto that tray. Okay, the Fusion, much bigger cooking area, as you can see, deeper, shorter, but deeper, so more volume. And the other thing about this particular one is that it's a hybrid, so there's a electric element underneath that you can power. So both of these ovens will work obviously in the sun, but this one also works at night or when it's cloudy, or if you just want to augment the power that you're getting from the sun. And you just use a power cord with a cigarette lighter adapter and a nice switch on the end. Plug into that. And I used that last night to cook 3 of these sausages, and they were delicious. They cooked very fast. The reason they cook fast is because of the vacuum tube design. So when you put the tray in here, it's more or less sealed. There's a rubber seal there with a little bit of an air gap to allow steam to get out. But it's a very efficient oven. And so whatever heat is created or generated, whether it's by the sun or by this electric element and the sun, that heat doesn't escape. And in fact, you notice that when you finish cooking, you might take the oven inside, out of the sun, it stays warm, keeps the food warm for hours. But of course the other thing about the larger tray is that you can cook for more people and also use larger pieces. They do recommend that you don't use large chunks of meat, but I'm going to try anyway. I'm going to have a go at these beautiful chicken, lemon and garlic fillets, thigh fillets, which I prepared yesterday by buying them from the butcher. And I'm going to see how long they take to cook in the sun. We've got a fairly sunny day today, but there's quite a lot of middle-level cumulus cloud going overhead, so I suspect that it's probably going to take about 2 hours to cook. And I'll let you know how it goes. Okay, so I'm not doing anything particularly fancy with this. If you look online, there's some gourmet recipes. I'm not a gourmet chef, so I'm just going to, very simply, I'm just going to drizzle some oil on the bottom there, because I know that the bottom of that pan is going to get a bit warm, so I just don't want the chicken burning too much. And then just pop those in there like so. Not sure how many I'm going to get in, so let's see how we go. We might just do three of these. Don't want to overfill it. Okay, and we'll leave it like that. Okay, so here's the oven in the sun. It's got a, careful you don't blind yourself going around this side. It's got a little pointing device there that allows me to point it directly at the sun. And so I'm just going to put this tray in here. Now, like that. This isn't altogether level, I'll level it in a moment, but basically you just pop that in there, push it shut, and away you go. The really cool thing about this is that the inside of the oven gets really hot, something like 300 degrees, but the outside will remain cool to touch because it's a vacuum tube. Okay, I'll come back in an hour or so and see how that goes. Okay, it's been going for about 15 minutes, and I've just got some other gear here which I'm going to talk through in a moment, but just to let you know, if I open that now, this tray is already too hot to touch, so it's very efficient. The other thing as well is that we can pivot this to track the sun, but this is independent, the tray, so we can keep the tray upright. Okay, so I'll close that. As you can see, I've got some electrics here, so I'll talk about that in a moment. But that's going really well. Okay, so now last night I mentioned last night I cooked some sausages in this inside, just using the electric element, and I measured the current that it was drawing. It was about 10 amps. So just to give you an idea, it took about maybe 45 minutes to cook those relatively thick 3 sausages that I had. So 10 amps for an hour is 10 amp hours. So what kind of battery would you need if you're running off battery to cook a meal? So 10 amp hours, okay? This little battery is 9 amp hours, and that battery, which is a full-size deep cycle battery, which is also able to start a car, is 100 amp hours. So you're going to get, at 10 amps, you're going to get about 10 hours of cooking out of that one, and about 1 hour of cooking out of that one. But just bear in mind that here in the sun, as you can see, we've got lots of cloud cover going over there. So the sun's kind of appearing and disappearing. If I wanted to hurry this up a little bit, or just help on a cloudy day, I could just simply hook up this little, very convenient battery, and then just turn that on. And so now the element inside there is helping the sun. And that'll give me, well, that little battery there will last about an hour, maybe a little bit less, before it goes flat. And I really should have some kind of voltage cutout circuit there to protect that battery. Whereas the big battery is going to cook for 10 hours easily. So, or in other words, it's going to easily cook for a couple of hours and not really make a dent on its charge. So that gives you some idea. And the reason I like this is because it gives you the option of cooking in poorer weather or at night. And the other thing I like about this setup is that the food is safely tucked away there, and I can leave this setup going and go for a swim, or go for a fish, or go for a bushwalk. Come back to a nice cooked meal. So obviously you might need to protect it against animals like foxes, possums, dingoes, but otherwise it's a very safe form of cooking. It's not like leaving a gas stove going or something like that. Love it. Well, here we are again. It's about an hour and a half later, and the sun's moved a little bit, but still reasonably lined up. So let's have a look at the food. Oh, there's lots of steam coming out there. I don't know if you can see that. And I can smell. It smells yummy. I'm very careful here. Look at that. You can see that it's kind of stewing in some juices there, and they're boiling, so it's well above boiling temperature. So certainly safe cooking. And I reckon they're done. I mean, I probably wouldn't mind them being a bit drier, but that looks really nice. Okay, so I'm going to take those out and try them out. Well done, little stove. Okay, let's try this out. So, just going to cut in here. I want to see whether the chicken is cooked through. That's the most important thing with chicken, of course. And as you can see, it is. So this is really hot. I'm going to try this very carefully. Okay. I'm very much looking forward to this. Yummo. I think that's passed the test. Well done. So as you may have guessed, I'm pretty happy with my new GoSun Fusion hybrid stove here. I'm just going to cook that last bit of chicken, put that in there, and as you can see, the shadows are coming around the stove, so I'll give it, move it over this way a little bit into the sun. But the main thing is that it's a reliable form of no fuel cooking, safe. The stove itself doesn't get hot from the outside, which isn't true of all the solar stoves. It also folds up into a relatively small package, relatively robust, and I'm going to make a wooden box to protect it, pop that in the back of my four-wheel drive so that I can cook moves while I'm driving, cook food while I'm driving, while I'm moving along, and then enjoy a really nice hot meal when I get to where I'm going. Anyway, very happy. Highly recommended.